There's an island in Greece where old age doesn't look the way you might expect, where 90-year-olds climb steep hills to visit neighbors, where people in their hundreds still tend gardens, share meals, and laugh late into the evening. On this island, dementia is rare. Heart disease is uncommon, and reaching your 100th birthday isn't a miracle. It's almost ordinary. The island is called Ikaria, and the people who live here don't fight aging. They've simply learned how to live. Perhaps you've noticed how modern life asks us to move faster, sleep less, and carry more stress than ever before. We eat quickly, we sit for hours, we lose touch with the people we love. Somewhere along the way, many of us stopped asking what a good life looks like and started chasing what a long life requires. But Ikaria offers a different answer. The people here aren't following strict diets or expensive treatments. They aren't counting calories or tracking every step. They've built a way of life that protects health naturally, almost effortlessly. And here's the most important part. This isn't about genetics or good fortune. Scientists have studied this island for years, and what they found can be applied anywhere in the world, including right where you are now. What you're about to discover could genuinely change the way you think about aging. Stay with me. Ikaria is one of only 5 places on Earth known as blue zones, regions where people live significantly longer and healthier lives than the rest of the world. Researchers, including teams from National Geographic and leading universities, have spent decades studying these communities, trying to understand what makes them different. What they found on Ikaria was remarkable. 1 in 3 people lives past the age of 90. Rates of cancer are lower. Heart disease is far less common. And perhaps most striking, dementia and Alzheimer's disease affect far fewer people here than in wealthier, more technologically advanced nations. The secret isn't locked in a laboratory or hidden behind expensive medicine. It's woven into daily life. Let me show you how. The first thing you notice about Ikarian life is the food. Not because it's exotic or complicated, but because it's simple, fresh, and deeply rooted in the earth. Most meals are built around vegetables, beans, potatoes, and wild greens gathered from the hillsides. Olive oil flows freely, used not just for cooking, but as a central part of every dish. Bread is made from whole grains. Fish appears on the table regularly. Meat is rare, perhaps once or twice a week, and usually goat. There are no calorie counters here, no diet trends, just food grown nearby, prepared with care, and shared with others. Now this matters because researchers from Harvard School of Public Health studied the Mediterranean diet and found that people who followed it reduced their risk of heart disease by 30%. Another study showed it protected the brain, slowing cognitive decline as people aged. But here's what's often misunderstood. This isn't about perfection. It's about pattern. The Ikarians aren't strict. They simply return, again and again, to whole foods, plants, and olive oil. You don't need access to a Greek island to do this. You just need to shift, slowly and gently, toward more vegetables, beans, and healthy fats in your own kitchen. Here is where Ikaria is very different from modern life. The people here don't exercise in the way we think of it. There are no gyms, no fitness classes, no morning jogs. And yet, they move constantly. Their homes are built on steep slopes, so walking anywhere means climbing. They garden, not for leisure, but to grow food. They walk to visit friends. They work with their hands, building, mending, creating. Movement is woven into the fabric of the day, not scheduled as a separate task. Scientists call this natural movement, And research published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that even light, everyday activity like walking and household tasks significantly lowered the risk of death in older adults. The key wasn't intensity, it was consistency. And here's the hopeful part. Studies from the University of California showed that people who became more active later in life, even in their 60s and 70s, still experienced profound health benefits. It's never too late. For you, this might mean choosing stairs when possible, gardening if you enjoy it, walking after meals. The Ikarians teach us that movement doesn't have to hurt to heal. This next habit is where many people struggle the most. In Ikaria, loneliness is rare. Families live close together, often across multiple generations. Friends visit each other daily, not by appointment, but by tradition. Meals are shared. Conversations are long. No one eats alone unless they choose to. This sense of belonging isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline. Researchers at Brigham Young University analyzed data from hundreds of thousands of people and found that strong social connections increase the chance of living longer by 50%. If you're enjoying the content and want more videos like this, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next. Loneliness, they concluded, was as harmful to health as smoking 15 cigarettes every day. The Harvard study of adult development, which followed people for more than 80 years, reached a similar conclusion. The quality of our relationships determines the quality of our health and happiness more than wealth, success, or fame ever could. If you live far from family, or if you've lost friends over the years, this can feel heavy. But connection is still within reach. A phone call to someone you've been meaning to contact, joining a local group or place of worship, volunteering in your community. The Ikarians remind us that we are not meant to walk through life alone. On Ikaria, people don't retire in the way many of us understand it. They don't stop working and wonder what comes next. Instead, they shift into different rhythms. A farmer might work fewer hours but still tends his land. A grandmother still bakes bread for the family. Everyone continues to contribute, to be needed, to matter. This sense of purpose has real power. Research published in JAMA Psychiatry found that people with a strong sense of purpose had lower mortality rates and were less likely to suffer from heart disease. Another study showed that purpose protected cognitive function and built resilience against Alzheimer's disease. Purpose doesn't require a career or a grand mission. It can be teaching a skill to someone younger, caring for a garden, volunteering at a library or food bank. What matters is waking up with a reason, however small, to engage with the world. The Ikarians show us that aging doesn't mean becoming invisible. It can mean becoming essential in new ways. Life on Ikaria moves at a different pace. There's no rush. Afternoons are often reserved for rest. Naps are common and unashamed. Sleep is protected, not sacrificed. When stress arises, people don't carry it alone. They talk with family and friends. They share burdens. This isn't laziness, it's wisdom. A study published in the Archives of Internal Medicine found that people who napped regularly reduced their risk of heart disease by more than a third. Rest, it turns out, is as important to longevity as movement. Modern life often treats rest as weakness or wasted time. The Ikarians teach us the opposite. Rest is where the body repairs, where the mind clears, where resilience is built. For you, this might mean protecting your sleep, taking short breaks during the day, finding moments of quiet without guilt. Rest isn't something to earn. It's something to honor. Finally, the Ikarians enjoy life's small rituals. A glass of red wine with dinner, shared with friends, herbal teas made from wild plants, periods of fasting tied to their Orthodox Christian traditions. None of these are extreme. All are practiced with moderation and meaning. Research from Johns Hopkins Medicine suggests that intermittent fasting can improve metabolic health and support longevity. Studies on red wine point to potential cardiovascular benefits, though always in moderation. But the deeper lesson here is about joy. The Ikarians don't deny themselves pleasure. They simply keep it simple, social, and balanced. They savor rather than consume. So here's the truth. You don't need to leave your home, change your entire life, or spend a fortune to live more like an Ikarian. You can begin today with one small choice. Cook a meal with olive oil and vegetables. Take a walk in your neighborhood. Call someone you care about. Find one thing that gives your day meaning. Protect an hour of rest. These aren't dramatic changes. They're gentle invitations toward a life that respects your body, nurtures your relationships, and honors your spirit. The Ikarians aren't healthier because they were born lucky. Studies show that genetics account for only 20 to 30% of how long we live. The rest is shaped by how we live. And that means you have more control than you might believe. It's never too late to begin. Whether you're 55, 70, or 85, your body still responds to care. Your mind still grows. Your relationships still matter. The choices you make today ripple into tomorrow, and the day after, and all the days beyond. The Ikarians teach us something the modern world often forgets. Aging is not a problem to be solved. It's a process to be lived well, with intention, with connection, with dignity and joy. You are not powerless. You are not past your best years. You are here now, with the ability to shape what comes next. If this message touched you, I invite you to take a moment and share your thoughts in the comments. Which of these Ikarian habits speaks to you most? What will you try first?